Good evening, 9 p.m. here in the San Gabriels, and now we are dealing with, I'm trying out something new, with the most, I guess I'm going to have to use this word, the most egregious thing in history. It's been too many times that we're finding out that people who work in restaurants are doing such dastardly, ridiculous, unhealthy things to people. We don't know what's on their mind. Only thing I can say is they must be criminally insane. If there's something wrong with their attitudes about life, about other people, I don't know what type of people these were there cultural differences or not. The article doesn't say that. But the restaurant is Wendy's, not here in California, but in South Carolina. I got this, and I'm going to be reading it verbatim. I might have something to say in between. But we are hearing about people doing such crazy things through the takeout window on both sides, of course. But particularly, I'm interested not in the regular people who visit, who pay their money into windows and act crazy, but we're going to focus on this employees in the workplace that's supposed to be serving the community to people like themselves. Three Wendy's employees in Union, South Carolina, have been criminally charged after allegedly spitting in a customer's meal. How many times have we heard that? And serving food that had been retrieved, you hear me? Retrieved from a trash bin. It said trash can. And it's at a fast food location in North Duncan Bypass. I'm not going to give the address, just North Duncan Bypass is the street. It's on the website. I don't want to get that close to the subject, but the point is that we're talking about food, we're talking about health, we're talking about not necessarily that food is contaminated, but that other people are making it contaminated. We don't know anything about these people. Have they been doing that all the time and then finally they ain't get caught? Some do videos, and in this case, they found out. I'm going to get to that part later. But must we be wary of going to fast food places? Do we have to know the individuals who probably know us if we come there constantly? Or maybe we just passing through, traveling from one place to the next, and will never go to this particular fast food place or restaurant for that matter. Big restaurant. We don't know the people or the chefs behind the counter. We don't even know the servers. We don't know if they're in cahoots with one another. Unfortunately, I have to talk like that because it definitely does not make any sense. When we have all these other diseases going around, people talking about washing their hands, and that's what I'm going to be touching on too as part of my spreading out, going from chrysalis to moth, chrysalis to butterfly. The suspects, these are case details. Of course, I got this from Google. The suspects that were arrested is a 19-year-old, a 23-year-old, and one reportedly on duty. Manager said, an on-duty manager. Now I don't know how much these managers get paid, but if they're no good than the people who serve under them, then there is a very, very indecent problem. The employees are facing charges of malicious tampering with human food, and they were booked, each held on a $20,000 bond. The timeline occurred on May 30th this year. A drive-thru customer noticed an issue with her order and requested a refund. Isn't that something? They requested a refund. A simple refund. She saw an issue with it, which she had the right to do. Employee took the food back and claimed they remade the meal. They most certainly did remake the meal. They put their own condiments out of their own body onto the food. I get tired of hearing stuff like this. Because if I'm paying my hard earned money and you have people behind the scenes that's supposed to be doing right for the people, should they really be working for the restaurant? How can you vet? That means looking them up, look what type of activity they are, if they have any criminality to them. Maybe it's been squashed. Maybe it's been overlooked. Maybe they were just given a second or third chance. But why should they be in the fast food business or food business at all? I'm sure they had certain practical skills and they were very good at it, but yet now they're using their goodness for deceitful purposes. Deceitful criminality. They're fooling everyone. It doesn't matter what day they did it or what year they did it. Maybe they've been planning on it, or maybe they've been doing it all the time. Like I said in some past videos, sometimes these people don't get caught, but I'm sure something's going to happen to them anyway. And why would you do something like that? I'm sure there was no malice intent on the person who was being served. And yet you have three individuals who are upset because someone wants their money back. Instead of being friendly and kind, they did the other thing that you should never do. Now, in this case, we saw sometimes these people take videos of themselves. That in itself is something quite stupid. That in itself, saying that maybe they really did want to get caught and they didn't think no one would see it. In this age of digital scrutiny, A lot of this stuff is not fake. It's the real thing. There was a warning call. While driving away and eating, the customer received an anonymous phone call from someone inside the store. The caller warned her to stop eating because workers had spat in the food and fished it out of the garbage. Now, every year we hear about these kinds of things, and every year they seem to get caught. Some openly, blatantly, some behind the scenes, like I said, in video. Somebody seen them, somebody who worked with them saw them and didn't want to say anything and wanted to catch them. Kind of like a whistleblower. Some person maybe they trusted was going to go along with the program and said, no, we're not going to deal with that here. With all the diseases that are going around, I believe some people actually do get sick and pass on because someone else had some sort of disease or something and they're passing it on to them. We know about diseases on ships. We know about breathing on airplanes. Passenger cruises is probably one of the main things that all this is happening, where people don't wash their hands, people coughing over the food, people dipping their fingers in certain things, and it takes someone else to tell on them. Even though the workers on the cruise ship tell them to wash their hands, and still you still see people don't wash their hands. You think that someone will pass through? It's okay if you pass through, but once you begin to eat, you should be able to wash your hands. There are plenty of wash fountains there for you and soap to wash your hands and towels and all that stuff. But we're talking about people that are blatantly, criminally doing something to other people in a job that they should not be in the first place. It doesn't matter how good of a worker they are. It just takes one time for them to rear up their ugly head and just harm everybody within their range. There was also some surveillance verification. The customer immediately contacted store management. The location manager reviewed the internal surveillance footage. So see, they were on video anyway. Confirmed the malicious food tampering took place and contacted the local authorities. If you want some more facts about this place, I guess you can look at Fox Carolina or WSPA. And it said, note that the fast food chain has written up the involved staff members as police continue their investigation. And if you are interested, there are some sites, and you can get more details regarding South Carolina's specific laws on food tampering or update you on the legal proceedings as they develop. Believe it or not, I found out a way to save this article. It took me some time to find it. Then I had to find it because I never saved an article like this before. So I'm going to be doing more of these type of things. I might be saying the same thing over and over again. But I am expanding my eclecticism, all things food, bankruptcies, travel, diet plan. It's not too scattered around. I'm still going to basically stick to the same thing. Of course, you're going to see my travels here and there, some same places. Because if you're near the same place and you're a local traveler, a small one at that, and you enjoy what you're doing, so you keep on doing it. But I am appalled that this type of stuff is going on still. It doesn't matter if you argue with somebody or not. Probably the best thing to do is walk away and file a complaint with your local authority. You can argue a little bit. Maybe that's your last dollar. Maybe that's your last $10 or $20, whatever it is. And you have not been treated right. It depends on the severity of the situation. Was it intentional? Even if it wasn't intentional and they make mistakes, there should be some sort of consideration, whether the customer is telling the truth or not. Put the food aside. If the people in there that you gave the food to are honest and they're saying there's nothing wrong with it, put the food aside anyway. Don't tamper with it. Check it out with authorities. It might cost them money, but so what? Or you can hold on to it yourself and then maybe they say that you was tampering with it. Even if you took a bite in it and it felt funny, I'm sure you can take it back. Sometimes we throw stuff away that we feel is not right, and we don't follow through. We don't call back on it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's best to keep going. Suppose you're out of town in another state, you're just passing through. You're hungry, you need a little something to eat, and they screw up your order. There are a lot of things that go on when you're in somebody else's town. But even if you're in someone else's town, are they doing that to people in their own town? More than likely, yes. They don't care who it is. It doesn't matter what the reason is whatsoever. Like I said, if you're into people, you're really into people, you shouldn't be doing anything like that. And this is Robert Shaw. I'll see you in my next video. More videos to come. I'm opening up my feelings, telling it the way it is, in my own way. I'll see you in my next video, folks. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk again.